Imagine if Adam and Eve did not eat the fruit, we will all be in the Garden of Eden, be chilling naked.
Not
Nobody gonna know.
Not doing this 9 to 5. I do enjoy my 9 to 5.
And I will like to keep it. There's a lot of voices. Whether you are conscious or not, sometimes you start measuring your own life, even by the standards by these strangers, by any means, right? I've said, and then you're comparing yourself and thinking about it. Hi guys, hi partners. We're going to need to find a name to give our community, right? Between us, you.
We'll figure it out someday.
Okay.
So,
hi guys, welcome to another episode of Between You. I'm sorry, Between You and Us. I'm sure by like the tone of my voice, you probably feel like, oh, why is this girl so excited today? Not, I'm actually very tired. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys, and I'm excited for us to do another episode. We're still here. Can you believe it?
I can't. Well, I was looking at some statistics. They did say that 90% of podcasts do not get to
episode 2.
The third episode.
Third one. Look at us.
And at least we're recording.
We made it. So, well, yeah.
So here we go.
How are you?
I'm good. There is a long weekend this weekend, and I was looking forward to it. It's
but
still
others who won.
But it's still good though.
So like for context, when you say long weekend in Nigeria, where we're from, it's 4-day weekend. Long weekend here is 3-day weekend. So it doesn't feel like long weekend for me really. It just feels like an extra day off. Which honestly I don't mind. I'll take it anytime, any day we get this. But yeah, it doesn't feel quite as long. Remember when you're in like secondary school or whatever, and you get midterms. So you get 2 days off, like Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Monday. And that's long weekend. Not this one that is just an additional day.
This one is long weekend.
Exactly. It didn't complete the NG. But please, we'll take it. But yeah, how was your week? How was your weeks?
They've been good. I've been doing plenty. What's it called? I don't want to say introspection, but yeah, I've just been having like a lot of
think about your life.
Not necessarily. I've just had plenty of random moments that I would typically have just not been in a second thought. It's more like I've been stopping to smell the roses a little bit more.
Oh, is she cute?
It has been nice.
She's so cute.
It has been nice to be learning.
But do you really think that's like I guess it can be both nice and not nice? Because I feel like, and I think I said in an earlier episode where that I probably need to actually go through therapy, because some things are so repressed and so suppressed in my mind that I don't remember them. Anything before 12 years old, I don't remember, to be very honest. Talking about taking time to actually think about it, I feel like for me, it's kind of like a coping mechanism to not dwell, not think too much about something. Because I can be an overthinker as well. So, and like there are things that I focus and think about, but some other things I don't really want to think about it.
Okay, so it's not necessarily like thinking about past trauma or different.
Oh no, not that deep. But just like if something happens now, do you think that it's better or is worthwhile to think about it fully?
I think so. I kind of relate to that overthinker, suppressing things. Okay, I remember one incident, something happened. I told someone, and once I told the person, I completely forgot. But we're now fighting over that same thing, like weeks later. And I was like, no, it's not that deep. And the person started to tell me, like, this is what happened. I'm like, oh. So yes, I get that you can forget things. But when you suppress them, they don't leave. They're just suppressed. Eventually,
true.
I feel like eventually they will come out. If thinking through them will help you quickly deal with them now and move on from it, then yeah, I would recommend. But I'm not a therapist, so
yeah. So don't take our word for it.
Take my word for
my dears,
it.
My brothers and sisters, don't think about it. But really, I mean, I hear you, and I also think that us not thinking about some things deeply might be us just being cowardly. I'd rather not deal. Like, okay, we'll figure it out. But then again, I guess that's some of the things you have to deal with as adults. You know how they say comparison is the thief of joy, and just like what is expected of you to do, or how you compare yourselves, you see things happening and you're like, oh, maybe I should be doing that,
Mhm.
right? Is there anything that has been projected to you, maybe not to you, or are there things that just irk you? No, maybe not necessarily even irk you, just things like you see, like maybe on social media.
Yeah. Okay. So I did come across a tweet. It wasn't actually the tweet that I saw. It was someone's response to the tweet, and I screenshot it. So let me just find that since you have brought me here.
That's very weird.
Yeah, so this person says, I have yet to meet a woman whose life truly improved after marriage. She
Ah.
won't say she's unhappy, but you can see it in the way her light fades, the way she barely exists outside of work, house chores, and childcare, all of which she mostly shoulders alone. Meanwhile, her husband takes boys trips, plays video games, and remains a guest in his own children's lives. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was I just thought of my circle and I'm like, I can't really relate. So I kind of felt sorry for this person, like that you can't find someone in your
Yeah, yeah.
circle whose narrative is different.
You
Yeah.
know the word just came to my mind is that she's probably not married.
Okay.
Most likely not.
Okay.
And then I hear you, like, even if she's not married,
Mm,
there's nobody around her that she's seen as good example of
example.
what marriages should
I don't
be.
know if it's a share E.
Oh yeah, okay.
But so I went into a bit of a rabbit hole. Like I said, it was someone's response. So I went to look for the person that posted it originally. And
But you
the
went to look
first,
for their actual handle.
yeah, on X. And then I was reading the thread because so let me
Okay.
tell
So it's not
what
Instagram. Yeah,
no, no,
okay.
it's not Instagram. It's X, Twitter.
Twitter. Millennials are still not used to calling it X. Like, I have some people that if they say X, they must follow it up with formerly Twitter. And I'm like, get with the system.
Twitter was just perfect. I don't know why we needed it needed to be rebranded to
Well,
X,
it's a
but
new world.
whatever rocks Elon's boat. But that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, so what really drew me to this tweet was the varying responses. So you had plenty of people that agreed with her, and then you had plenty of people that disagreed with her. And it started to make me think about the fact that people sharing advice or people sharing their opinions or saying certain things is from a certain side of
Yeah,
a
all that
fine
they've known.
is
It's
based on
colored. Their view is
yeah
colored because it's based on their experiences or
so
the
it's
experiences of a handful of
for
people that
people.
they know. And keep in mind, there's like 8 billion or how many people in the world now.
This person though I think that this person says that she's a feminist, right?
Ah, okay.
But some of the things that she tweets about, it's almost like this person doesn't like men. So
Oh, please, even from the one tweet that you just read out, these things that she's saying, first, the premise that she has never seen any person, I have a problem with that. But then again, I don't know the people that she knows. So, again, I share your sentiments. I feel sad for her that really all the people around her are living that kind of life. But these things that she mentioned about, like, chores and caring for children and what, I feel like it comes with adulthood, right? Whether you're a woman or a man, for responsible adults, right? Because some people choose not to have kids, some people have dogs, and it's still responsibility, right? And then there are people you shoulder it together with your partner. So I share your sentiments that all the people that she knows in this world.
no, so I think she for her like it's also a line of work. She works with women. She works with I think, and that's one of the people. Some of the people that commented said, "Of course, you're dealing with those are the people that you're going to be surrounded with because that's the cases you're dealing with. It's not like someone who has a good marriage will come to you to because they don't have
Yeah.
a problem
You know,
anyway."
you know the
So
weird and funny thing. It's funny that you mentioned that she works with women because I was just going to say that what will literally blow my mind is if it comes out to say that she's a or he or she is a therapist or a what's the word, life coach, right? But yeah, because that's technically what she's
I don't
is.
remember what she actually does, but the way she has described, like she works with women, this kind of cases, women dealing with
Yeah,
issues,
and
because that's what she talks.
imagine what she's going to be telling
Mhm.
those women or
That's
men or whoever
that
she's
was
dealing
actually
with.
that was the main problem that I had. Aside from the fact that this is what she's saying, I'm also concerned about what she has experienced in her own life. I don't know, like it's just
Yeah,
me
something was
wondering.
for her to
So
have come to
because
this
for you to
conclusion.
get to the point where you do not like men, I don't want to be forward, so let me not assume that she doesn't like men. It's just that a lot of things that she
It's
says
tending
comes off
towards
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder what she has been through, and then I feel sorry for what she has had to experience in her life for her to be very yeah,
Set in a
this
way.
conversation is already making it sound like we're
But
talking about this person, but that's not it. What I
exactly,
wanted
yeah.
to that's not it. What I just wanted to say is that I think that whenever people share stuff with you, like there are always two perspectives. There are two sides to a coin. What I'm trying to say in essence is that everyone shares or develops or forms an opinion or forms their values based on their
All the
experiences,
experiences,
based
yeah.
on what they've gone through, based on what
People that
is
are around
right
them, their
around
circle.
their circle. So there's also a second part to that I also want to mention. A lot of things that people say or the things that what's the word? Well, the truths, let me use that word. Truths that you believe that you hold on to sometimes comes from your experiences. But I also think it also goes a little bit further, not just your experiences, but also um how you respond to the experiences. So the reason I'm
True,
saying this
true.
is you might have like two different people that came from like, similar experiences. Say you have two different people. They both came from a home where the father
Abuse
abuses
the
the mom.
mom.
Now there are two
I
responses to
I try
that.
not to use this example, but honestly, every time I'm sorry to interject,
Yeah.
but like every time I see these things, what comes to mind is this movie, Adolescence. Have you
Oh,
seen it?
I
No.
told you that I don't I have the intention of watching it. So
No, it's not so bad.
yet.
I mean, it's deep, it's heavy, it's a heavy movie for sure, but I feel like it kind of opens your mind and it exactly ties to what you're saying. That's why I brought it up. Like
Okay.
exactly ties.
Okay.
The two kids are from the same family. The father wasn't
I've not
particularly
watched it,
abusive.
so I don't
Okay, I
have
won't
any
spoil it for you.
context to what you're
Okay, but
saying.
yeah, exactly. So it ties into it. If anybody's listening to this and is saying adolescence, you probably see what I mean by it ties to what you, the
Yeah.
example you made.
So two different people come from like similar experiences. The father abuses the mom. There are two responses. I think you find someone comes out of it and says, "Oh, I saw what this did to my mom. I'm never going to do that to
Yeah,
anyone."
yeah.
But you also find someone else who, because that's what they experience, that's what
See,
they
that's the
end up
only
doing.
reality they know.
But these two people, they had the same experience,
Mm.
and the way they live their life is different.
How do
So,
you
so
think? How do you think? What do you think sets them apart? How do you think the response, the difference in the responses to these experiences and these realities that they both had? How do you think it came about? Like, because again, you know how they say that like you're a product of experiences or like the lessons or whatever.
you know, let me land.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Land.
But you're already asking me a question, so just finish
So,
it.
well, I guess probably this is you probably because again, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the response is different, but what can make the response different?
Honest, so I like I don't have the answers. What I the point I was trying to make,
Sorry.
not what you're trying to make me say, is that take everything with a grain of salt. Like whatever people, whatever someone tells you, like this person saying that, oh, she has not seen any woman who's happy, and say if there's someone, if she's advising someone now about marriage, and says no, don't marry, because there are tweets that she has posted like don't marry any man or something, that kind of thing. So if she,
Well, that's
so
too late for me.
I don't know what she has experienced in her life, but people will form whatever it is they're from based on what they've experienced, and not just what they've experienced, but also how they responded to their experience. Now, what came about the response? That one I do not have the answer for. So, if you have the answer, you can tell us in the
Yeah,
comment
share with
section.
us because
I
I
do
mean,
not
I
have
would.
the answer for, but the summary is just that take everything with a grain of salt. There is always two sides to a coin. So if if you have a question about someone says this thing, consider all the different. There are always multiple perspectives, and that was what really drew me to that tweet. It was just the fact that there were very responses. There were tons of
Mm.
women who said, "Oh, our lives became so much better. Our finances became better. My life was very full because when I got married." There was even someone who says that nobody even knows her maiden name because that was how obscure it was when she got married that
That
she'd
she started
actually
leaving.
bloomed. And
Yeah,
so but at the end of, but you also had the other people that actually
I've
had the
experienced that.
terrible
Yeah,
experiences, and
yeah.
because so we're not trying to discount that the fact that yes, there are abusive homes. There is actually a lot that is happening. There are statistics about women going through so much, and
And men,
and
and
men
men.
and men
I read
men
something about that recently, where like it was tending towards like, oh yeah, we're always talking about the women, we're not talking about the men. And someone's response was that like we're picking a battle at a time, that the men have enjoyed attention for far too long. So this is Chimamanda's episode with on Trevor Noah's podcast, and
Okay.
he was saying that in the new book Dream Count, that it was the girls telling their stories, and a number of them, but number of the stories, were painting men like in a certain way because of the experiences that those women had in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then Trevor was asking Chimamanda that he didn't feel like there was closure because we didn't hear the men's side of the story,
Yeah.
right? So she was saying that, yeah, she's not discarding the fact that men too have horrible experiences, but but there are other people that are talking about them. Her message was not, focused on the men. So yeah, so but we acknowledge. I mean, we'll be pretending if we said that, oh, only women go through rubbish
Yeah.
and everything. But back to like the meat of the matter, and the question that I asked you, of course, I don't have a response to, is that how do people respond different? Because it's the truth, especially when you have, forget even like, oh, group of friends or something, like just like family, like the
Yeah.
example you use, 2 kids, 3 kids, 5 kids raised by the same parents.
This example, though, this example that you're given, there was something I came across. I can't remember if it was something I read or something I saw. Sometimes the reason why you have like different children and it's like
They experience different parents.
exactly, they
Yeah.
experience different parents. And I kind of, it's not even kind of, I agree with that a lot,
Yeah,
because
that's for sure.
sometimes I even think of myself and I think of the parents that my oldest brother experienced. At that point, it was, well, the first
The learning
child.
curve.
So
Older
exactly,
children, learning curve.
it was
Because I see how I am with my daughter now, and I know that there will be changes when I
Changes.
have my next child.
So- So I think for the children one, I think it's just that they experienced
different people,
different people, but also aside from experiencing different people, everyone still
they
has like
responded differently
their,
as well.
there's I also think that
Yeah.
everyone, because we're also individual, we take things differently. There are different ways.
Exactly.
It's just like even when you learn, some people learn better by visual, some people learn better by reading.
So use the example of teacher in the same class. We all have the same teachers. How is it that some people are struggling to learn or grasp what the teacher is teaching, and some
And
other
some
kids
people are picking it
picking
fast.
really
So
fast?
people. So I think every individual has like different abilities, capabilities, and it makes sense that everyone responds to things, picks up things differently, and
Yeah.
chooses.
And I guess
How
whilst
they
we might
respond
not
to it.
have like the full answer, one thing that is just coming to mind for me now is intentionality. Just like how I'm choosing to learn differently, right?
Yeah.
Because like the example you gave of the abusive family, and that's the reality that they've both been exposed to.
Yeah.
But then there's still other realities out there, right? This is the primary reality, right?
Yeah.
They can choose to seek out
Other
a
reality.
better way to
Yeah,
do it,
yeah.
because for you to even know that something is wrong is because you know that there's an alternative, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if Adam and Eve did not eat the fruit, we will all be in the Garden of Eden, be chilling naked.
Lounging, not
Ain't
doing
nobody
this,
gonna know.
not doing this 9 to 5.
But it's okay. We'll take it with a.
Oh, considering that
We
my
move on.
manager
We
is going
soldier
to
on.
be listening to this podcast, I promise you not be making you feel like I do enjoy my 9 to 5.
And I would like to keep it. But yeah, this is not the only thing. More like every day, as a woman, as a man, you see these things everywhere, right? People come out to say, oh, this is what is expected of you at this. See, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There's this wild, and how we decided, or some humans decided, that you should do this at this time, you should achieve this at this time. I think there was a tweet I saw. So I said at 25, you should not, if you're still living with your parents, you're a failure. And I'm like, how about you put it differently, that as an adult, remove the age, you should work towards expressing yourself and just trying to be independent, because for the long time you have to be independent. You're not going to have to live with your parents forever, but just like
If it is your choice to live with your parents forever,
well,
I don't think there's any, I mean,
it won't be forever,
if
because
you-
your parents will probably
No.
die. One person will die or the other, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it will, that's what I'm tending to, is like, even if it takes you a long time to bloom, a long time to be independent, but eventually.
I still don't get with your example because no, now because what if you don't want marriage, you don't want the extra thing, you're just happy with your life, and then you're living with it's convenient, like
But one of them,
there's
your parents, either you
there's
die or your parents will die.
but it doesn't mean that you're not blooming simply because you're living with your parents. That's what
No,
I'm trying to
when I
say.
say bloom, I don't mean like make it. I mean you can make it and be with your parents, or if that's what works for both, by all means. I'm saying at some point in your life you have to be independent, right? And independent, not that you will not need anybody again, because even if you're not with your parents, you're probably living alone. You have friends that care for you too. At any point, even if you are not living
Yeah,
alone, you will always have someone or the other. Nobody's an island, like this
yeah,
usually say. So you are not fully independent, like all by yourself, but to some degree you have to be independent,
yeah,
right? But just like the timeline that people put to it, it should be this at this time, it should be that, because I found that, and this is me, like in my own life sometimes too, the subconsciously I've formed that some of those biases for myself to say, oh, why am I not doing this at this time, why haven't I achieved this at this time? So case in point, I'm currently doing my second professional qualification, right? And I have people that have done it much earlier, and at some point it was tiresome for me, because I'm like, why am I doing this at this time in my life? What did I use, my youth to do, as they used to say? But then thinking back, you're like, okay, I was charting a different path in my earlier time when my colleagues were doing this thing. Because I have a friend that, oh yeah, ACCA, she did it when we were in school, then she had gotten CPA since, and you're not worried about doing that now, right? But I digress. What I'm saying is, because you have a lot of voices, right?
yeah,
This is not, even if you are not choosing to compare yourself to what you see every day. Sometimes it's just like this, just it creeps in and steals your joy. There's a lot of voices. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on social media every day. You're seeing these things, whether you are conscious or not. Sometimes you start measuring your own life even by the
yeah.
standards by that
Of
these
other people.
strangers
Yeah.
by any means, right, have set, and then you're comparing yourself and thinking about it. Hmm, should I be doing this? My
Correct.
mates are oh my god, that phrase alone, they should ban it. Is this what your mates are doing? Your mates have built how many houses? Your mates have done that. Subconsciously, you find yourself, or I find myself sometimes just thinking, is this what my mates are doing? Is this what I should be doing at this time? Or should I have gone further? And then, the one that busts my brain, you will now tell yourself by yourself again that, but there are people that are worse than me now. As if it's a competition here, like I'm in the middle. But find equilibrium. I'm not doing too good, I'm not doing too bad, because there are people that are worse than me and there are people that are better than me. I think that it's because of the voices that we let get in let me speak for myself. It's because of the
Yeah.
voices that I sometimes subconsciously let get in my head, the projections
Yeah.
that I see. But yeah, the focus is, anything anybody is telling you is from how they have seen the world. How they say that, the world as I know it, right?
Yeah.
That's just the truth of the matter. So all this comparison that we do, whether consciously or subconsciously, all these expectations that put, maybe one day we'll do another episode and really talk about like the expectations of adulthood and what all the things that they expect you to do. But when you see all these memes of, oh, I'm a woman, I'm expected to keep my hair good, look good, have a good job, be sane, go out, meet people, have a relationship, or be married, take care of kids, blah 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 blah. You're only human, right? And all these projections, all these things that people say, is just from their view of the world, what they've experienced, what they are currently experiencing.
Experiencing. Yeah.
Because what they say about how someone does something bad one time, and then, oh, now we see your true color,
No.
right? Like, this is the only
This
thing that
thing
must be
is
true.
true about you.
So this person that has never seen, probably had parents or aunts or uncles that had good marriages, but the way the social media or the world now has so
So
made bad marriage, divorces, so
yeah.
glamorous and so popular, that has
Yeah.
colored every other
Yeah.
thing that she's known.
One thing I keep saying, not I keep saying, but one thing that I keep hearing over and over in different forms in is that the loudest voices are the negative voices.
Sadly,
So that's the world we're in. Because it's like when things are going good, there's
it's
really
boring. It doesn't
there's
sell. It's
exactly
not
there's nothing to
just
talk about. But once things are bad, because by saying that she all the women that she knows, but if you even go beyond the circle, like there are marriages that seem okay, maybe that might be the challenge that seem like
same.
they're good, right?
Yeah.
There are examples of people who've been together for most
Yeah,
of their lives,
yeah.
and
Some are not even
the men are
popular.
thriving, the women are thriving,
I mean, she
but
literally said she has never seen.
she has never come across. So maybe
But that's it. Okay, maybe she, even if she doesn't know them personally, she has seen them
one
and
way
she
or the
knows
other.
about them.
Again, but then let's not dwell on that. Riding off that, I also think that there is also our own part to play. I think that we also need to think of some of those things that we hold on to, that we believe so much that this me, is this a trauma response to something I'm going through, is
Yeah,
this really the
yeah,
perspective? It's just like what you said now, like um when you, even though this is the reality that they've experienced, you know that there's an alternate
yeah,
reality, right?
yeah.
So even for ourselves, like we need to be, even you yourself, you need to be sure that sometimes maybe take a pause and think like, this thing that I believe so much,
Is it really
is it
true?
actually the
Show me gone this sense. I'm sorry. Show me gone this sense means that do I have sense? Because really, see, it's funny how this circles back to what you said in the beginning about thinking again, even maybe not even deeply, just like
yeah,
take a second thought about things,
yeah,
because you find that some of the things that you could swear by, this is the truth and can only be the
true.
truth. It's probably not.
It just
Probably
it just,
not.
yeah, sometimes I feel like we should take that step back, like, is this a trauma response? Is this what I truly believe?
Maybe not even
Is
trauma
this
response. What if it's just ignorance? Maybe I
yeah,
just don't know
or
better.
sometimes, or just ask yourself, like, why do I believe this thing that I actually believe? You ever just ask why do I believe this? Why do I think
That's a mic drop sentence. Why do I believe this? Why do I think that I believe this?
this? Yeah,
Why do I hold on to it?
this
Is it really the truth? Does it make sense? Does it
yeah,
track?
yeah. Some of those things that you're chasing, like, so when you talk about the fact that, oh, as a
Uh,
woman,
This guy is speaking to me.
as a woman, you should do those things that you're chasing. Is it? Do you?
So deep.
Is it really? Why do you want them? Like, is it for yourself? Is it for the other people? Is it
I
just
feel
why?
this thing
Just
you're
ask yourself
touching
why.
on. This thing you're touching on is a little deep, because I've also, apart from like influencers and they have to live curated lives to sell whatever it is they're
Yeah,
trying to sell.
yeah.
There are people that also genuinely, whether it makes sense or not, have chosen that their lives must be an example.
Okay.
Yes, for good.
Yeah.
How you see people say that, oh, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing it for the people that are coming behind. What if nobody's coming behind you? Not birthday. The only thing behind you is door or wall, self brick wall, mortar, not wooden wall of Canada, brick. Like nothing is there. Because do you think that it might actually stop you from just leaving, right?
Yeah,
Because
when you're so focused on
yeah, everything
yeah,
must have a meaning. I've chosen to be the sacrifice. My life must be used as reference. If this person did it, I can do it too. There are young girls behind me. And this is not even trivializing like the sacrifices that some other people have probably had to make
there's a lot of
that are
sacrifices
important.
there's a lot of sacrifices that have been made. I feel
Yeah.
that have
But
been made. So
but think
make
about
yourself
it.
useful. No, I mean you can
Does
still,
everything about you have to be
no
listen?
yeah. So yeah. So don't the thing is, I think it's because you are making it, or live well, do the right things, and I feel like that's enough lesson. Make
Yeah. Don't make everything such a big deal. Just do it because it's the right thing to do, right? I think that's what you're trying to say. Like don't overthinking that, oh, I must do the right thing so that something else can happen. Oh, it
just
doesn't, nothing
I
has to
think the
lead
important
to
thing,
anything.
just know your why. I think that's something like
What if there's no why? That's my own thing. What if there's no why? Just do it because it's the right thing to do.
so that's the why now. You're
Okay.
doing
Because it's the right thing
I
to do.
don't think there's anything that
Without a
is
why,
done
right?
without a why. So that's why I'm concerned, because
Maybe not a deep why.
exactly. But when you're saying why, I think maybe that's a problem because I'm saying why you're now thinking like it's something.
Must be.
It's not that intense. Sometimes your why is simple as I just want to be happy. So
True.
do the thing
True.
that make you happy. do
Valid.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, just ask yourself, why do I believe what I believe, or those things. Like last week we talked about motherhood, and I think we touched on like maybe wanting to be a mom and all those things. Like ask
Why?
yourself like why do I want to do this, because it is because and the reason we said why is because there is a lot of work. So if the why is shaky when it happens, it's you can flick, you can turn
Yeah.
around like I
Yeah.
don't want to do
Absolutely.
this, or
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's why I feel like just knowing, just sometimes, I mean it's not because every day sometimes you have to make decisions on the spot and
Absolutely.
all of that,
Absolutely.
but like from time to time just try to introspect and think like why am I doing this, or
And
why
I think
am I
there's no way
holding
to
on to
top
this,
that.
why do I
That is like the message of this
but
episode
I
actually.
do have one more. There's still one more part. Also, aside from that, like also do not project on other people.
Yeah.
That's also the part, because as much as we are complaining talking about like taking what other people project on you, you don't be that person so that is
To
not
be,
projecting.
yeah,
So
absolutely,
projecting
absolutely.
your, don't force your realities on other people. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like know your own why, and that's your
Be
own why. It
yours.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean that that's someone else's why. So don't force your own reality on other people, or your own perspectives, or your stuff
It's
on other
harder to
people.
do than it is to
Yeah, say
say,
yeah,
but
definitely.
it's something that we all have to work towards. Because if
Yeah,
imagine if we all actually worked towards not projecting, then there won't be anybody telling you how to live your life.
life. Yeah,
And it's not even like, not we're not even saying be reckless or do anything just because you want to.
yeah,
Because again, whatever you do, whether consciously or unconsciously, whether directly or indirectly, will impact somebody,
yeah.
right? So our message is not just be reckless or do anything you want, anything that satisfies you. Don't care about anybody. Please do
No.
care about people. But yeah, don't like you said, know your why. It doesn't have to be deep why. It doesn't have to be, reflective. It doesn't have to be selah every time.
Yeah.
Something must be
No, it's
serious about you. This is probably something, a message that the two of us probably need to put to play in our lives as well, and I'm sure like a million other people too, or
yeah.
everybody maybe, right, will have to. If things happen, like just do it. There are things that you has to be serious wise, and there are things that the why is just because it makes me
Yeah,
happy.
you're just taking your peace of mind.
Honestly, honestly, everyone's in a why. You
Spend
probably
that
need
money.
it. See, we'll do an episode on money. We'll do an episode on money sometime. Cause I feel like we have similar, for sure have similar thoughts about money, but we have different thoughts about money as well. Or we're trying to be different about money, but we're at different points in that trying.
Yeah, we'll get there someday. We'll talk
Right.
about it someday.
So, please share your comments with us. We want to know how you feel, what you think about, the just like how projecting and how it works, absorbing other people's realities or trying to force your own realities on
On
other
other
people
people.
as
Yeah.
well. Um, yeah, it's been a beautiful time just chatting about it, and I think the beauty of podcasts are, or just conversations in general, is the inconclusive nature of it,
Yeah,
right? It
because
never
we no,
finishes.
no, exactly, it never finishes. And I think that's what conversations should do. It should leave you feeling, it should leave you thinking of
More,
more. It
yeah,
should leave you,
yeah,
it should leave you wanting to explore whatever it is more.
yeah.
And
Maybe
that's
do better or do
do
worse.
better, or
We
do
choose,
worse, or just
or
think a
just
little
do.
bit, or just give you something to think about for you. Maybe it might just be something you've not thought about. It might be something you've thought about, but you've not really given it
Yeah,
any
just
thought as
just
well.
to
But it just to
pick your
really, yeah,
curiosity.
yeah,
Think about it. Think
and
things.
yeah, because yeah, honestly, I have been, there's so many things that I would typically not put a second thought to, but now I have been person, and I've been learning.
Is
It
it because
also
you're growing old?
it's not growing old.
Okay, if you believe so.
But it's a good thing because it's also helping me to I'm learning more about myself, right? It also helps me to see the things I actually need to shed or
True.
see the things that I
True.
need to pick
True.
up. So it's yeah, conversations are good. It's
Good.
I'm
Good.
glad we're doing this.
Yes, we are glad to be speaking with you guys, sharing with you guys. Let us know what you think about the conversation today and what you're thinking about like going forward and the things that you probably will be doing differently in your own
In
lives
life
as
as well.
well.
Yeah.
Because again, like we said, we're all learning. We don't have all the answers. Like we asked the question about why do people respond differently. So let us know your thoughts
Yeah.
concerning that. Why
Yeah.
do you think people respond differently to the same situations or the same realities? And yeah, it's been a wonderful time with you guys. Hope to spend some more time with you soon in another episode. Thank you so much for the love so far. And yeah, from me, ciao, ciao, ciao.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
We drop new episodes every other Sunday, so make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
We'd love to hear from you. So give us a like, follow, comment, DM on Instagram or TikTok.
Until next time,
Bye.
bye.